It's the starting point of this war. It's not the main goal of what I want the conversation to be.
The starting point was when 750,000 Palestinians were ethnically cleansed, were expelled from their homelands during the Nakba, which my grandparents fled Palestine because of the Nakba, because of the massacres and the rapes that they heard. So to me, that's the starting point. That's my experience.
Let's go with that for a minute. What happened to the people in Israel on October the 7th was also appalling.
But it came out of her mouth. She wants the Zionists dead. So how is she supposed to condemn in the Arabs to live
it would not have
prosperously and
happened
peacefully in the land?
had Israel not
initiated
this, and you know this from the beginning. I think we always
Israel did nothing to warrant what happened over the 7th was also appalling.
But it came out of her
The
mouth.
scale
She
of that
wants the
terror attack is
Zionists
like
dead.
saying
So
that
how is she
America
supposed to
will
leave
not
that?
it's
Let us get the
It would
land
not
back.
have happened had Israel not initiated this, and you know this from the beginning. I think we always have to turn off Hamas. Israel, you're talking about. No, we have to flip the narrative and make sure that the government is fundamentally a good story. Because this is the position that the world has put us in. This conversation of how you're talking about. No, I'm here to flip the narrative and make sure that we see what happening. We're not going to Israel not initiate this nation. I think we would put that on. Conversation of and make sure when you look at those
Jewish people.